What's up, everybody? Today's a beautiful day. I hope you're doing good. I'm feeling great. If this is your first time with us, please feel free and come and join us. Join the community so we can build a community together. Thank you very much. A few days ago, we had a chat about South Africa on the comment that was made by the US ambassador with regard to guns and weaponry supposedly sent to Russia by South Africa. The US ambassador said something along the lines that South Africa was sending weapons to Russia through a boat that was docked at Simonstown in South Africa. And the South African government reiterated that they were not sending any weaponry. And the president of the Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa, said that they had instituted an investigation team to check these facts and also to allow the American intelligence to bring the proof that South Africa is actually sending weapons to Russia. Meantime, as they were waiting, the American ambassador came public and said South Africa was sending weapons to Russia, and this is unacceptable. There was a big outrage in the country. Many people spoke out against the US ambassador. Some even asked for the government to boot him out of South Africa. Watch this.
The arming of Russia by South Africa with the vessel that landed in Simonstown is fundamentally unacceptable.
Finally, the American ambassador decided to come forward and say sorry. Sorry for coming out that way. Sorry for speaking about the subject in a way that is not proper. They went on having a meeting. It was called at the office of Naledi Pandor, where they had a meeting about the situation. So they said the ANC said the meeting with bigotry went well. The ambassador reiterated his apology as conveyed by Comrade Naledi Pandor, the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation in the Republic. The meeting discussed the importance of the relationship between the people of South Africa and the people of the United States of America. Whilst there may be points of divergence in certain points, we remain committed to the diplomatic engagement to resolve challenges on our shared interests. In other words, South Africa is a full country, America is a full country. So the US and South Africa can work together while respecting each other's values and ideas. Balula said they remain of the view that all conflicts should be resolved through dialogue. He said they did not support the conduct of bigotry who went public with allegations without using proper diplomatic channels. Yes, so as an ambassador, you don't do that. You just can't go outside and say whatever you like, the way you want it, like the US ambassador did lately, accusing South Africa of sending weapons to Russia, which is a big accusation without proofs. And this is not the first time, like I said before. A while back, the US embassy in South Africa came forward with information saying that there will be an explosion in Sandton and people should be very careful. That's a big statement to make. And they did that without consulting the local security agencies. Normally, when you have such information, you make sure you speak to the host, I mean, if you come to somebody's house and you see something is not right, or you see fire in a corner, you don't just scream, fire, fire. You call the person and say, hey, is that fire okay? Is that normal? In a way that the host can communicate with his people in a proper way. Unfortunately, at that instance, the American embassy came with information stating that there will be an explosion in Sandton without necessarily checking with the security agencies of South Africa. The president, Cyril Ramaphosa, at the time came forward and said, this is unacceptable. This is not how it's supposed to be. And this obviously is the second time that they violate diplomatic ways of communication. Many people thought that the reason why they did that on the first time, talking about the explosion, the goal was to scare people because South Africa seemed to be lining up with Russia. We also need to remember that the United States has what we call the AGOA agreement, which allows African countries to benefit from free markets or almost free market in the US. That being said, many African countries can export their goods to the United States without necessarily paying the full tax or just paying a little bit of the tax or maybe no tax. South Africa benefits tremendously from this agreement with exports in cars, exports in agriculture and many other things that brings a lot of money back to South Africa. It is estimated over 60,000 jobs are created in South Africa due to AGOA agreements and maybe 100,000 in the US. And this AGOA agreement that's provided by the US to many African countries is renewable. Therefore, what does that mean? It means if you conduct yourself in a way that the USA is happy with you, we're going to renew the agreement. Now, if you do not conduct yourself or align yourself with the United States of America, well, the AGOA agreement will probably be reviewed and maybe not extended. And that is what South Africa is trying to avoid at all costs.
America is just becoming a crybaby, trying to find a way into punishing South Africa because of our position on the Russia-Ukraine war.
It is great to hear the ambassador of the United States come forward and say he's sorry for the way he expressed himself. He never said that he was sorry that he lied. That's not what he said. He said he's sorry by not respecting the diplomatic ways of communication. So that means the accusations still stand. South Africa was supposedly arming Russia through the boats that docked at Simonstown. So what does that mean? It means that they're probably going to keep it on the low right now as it is necessary until the moment comes where they're going to actually bring it to the table. You know, sometimes when you are in a position of weakness or you are not so strong, you don't want to create more enemies. You want to stay quiet and wait for the time where you're strong, where you know you have enough support before you bring all your bombs. And that's exactly what I think is being played right now. But in the meantime, I feel it's great that it was checked. It is necessary to check somebody if he's going out of line. Yes, bring him back to line. It is very important to have respect towards countries that are financially or commercially lower than you. And I think respect is something you earn, okay? You can only be treated the way you portray yourself.
These things happen and we have to deal with them politically and diplomatically. We're a sovereign state and we will never fall into a state of helplessness where we feel we are being undermined. And we are proud of our status, of our standing in the world. We are respected in many quarters around the world, and we play our part.
South Africa in general do not accept bullshit from anybody, and that's a good thing. Now, because the US ambassador went public without necessarily checking with the local government, many people were very angry about it, and they spoke very openly about that situation. Some of them even asked him for him to be expelled, to be sent out of the country, to be declared persona non grata in South Africa, meaning not allowed to be within South African lands.
That ambassador of the USA was supposed to be taken out of our country the following day. He insulted us. He violated diplomatic protocols. That's why he was sanctioned. And then he started speaking in folk tongues and we didn't hear what he was saying. But a man who speaks like that in the name of diplomacy, you will immediately withdraw his credentials.
But I feel like the South African government has shown so much maturity in trying to conduct this in a proper way. So let me know how you feel. Is this okay for America to be pushing people in one direction? Just remembering that the United States has armed Ukraine to the level of $54 billion. So the US can arm Ukraine, Europe can arm Ukraine, but nobody else can arm Russia.
If there were guns that were given to Russia, it was a good thing. I would have done the same as a president of the republic.
How's that democracy if you can choose your mate, but I can't choose my friend? Shouldn't everybody have the right to choose whoever they want to have as friend, as family, as companion? I think that's democracy. Props to South Africa again for bringing this man back to the line. It shouldn't be violating diplomatic communication. Absolutely not. As much as I don't care whether you're right or wrong, there should be a proper way to express yourself by showing respect to everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know how you feel. What is your comment about this? Please join us if this is something that you like. Help us build our community. I really appreciate you guys. Have a nice day. God bless.